Alright, today we are going to be playing some Stranded Shroud versus HME. Saw that was rated as the worst matchup for Shroud in Red's new Invader Spirit Matrix, so thought that I would give it a go as I am a Shroud main, and I haven't found it too difficult in the past. Of course, this is single player compared to 4-player, so it doesn't really compare to all, but still thought that I would give it a go. So we're spawning in on board F. Board F is probably one of the worst boards for Shroud, namely because Shroud likes having connections in order to deal damage. And you have two lands here that only have two adjacencies, and they're both wetlands. So basically, if you get a little unlucky and wetlands are the main things that are happening, if you get like wetlands on one of your stage 1s, then wetlands on your stage 2, and then a coastal land afterwards, hitting this one again. It's just really hard to trim down all of the invaders there. Luckily, this is a little bit mitigated by the fact that we're playing against HME, so we do have dissolving vapors to clear damage to each invader, and they tend to just be very explorer heavy. But that being said, it still is not a great setup for us. So we'll find out what happens. We start out in the jungles. Remember Empire Ascendant. Okay, this is something. We probably can push one of these dahan into the 5, defend the 5, let the 2 blight to scale. Can be a little tricky to get everywhere that we want. Theoretically, we'd like to position ourselves so that if, for instance, wetlands explores, we can clear it, or if our 4 explores, we can clear it as well. So basically, we would need 2 adjacencies to be able to clear the sands on 1. This is all, by the way, coming from the fact that this is most likely what we will be playing. Yeah, I've played this game before, I promise. We'll be playing Fog Closes In, which means that we want to be able to kill off one of the lands that's getting explored into. So ideally we'd need to have 3 adjacencies around 4 plus a presence in there, or 2 adjacencies around the 1, 3 adjacencies around the 7. There's no way we're going to get to the 3 over here. The 7 is going to not happen. As I've said, there's only 2 adjacencies possible, so that is where we want our isolate to go. That's kind of the worst case scenario for where the explore could happen. Yeah, we should move on into fast power phase, because that's where we're at. We'll just cause 2 fear. Doesn't really matter where. Oh, we didn't even put down our presence yet. It's silly me. So we'll put the presence down here and do something like this, I believe. So that way if the 4 gets explored into, we can go 1, 2 and clear it. If the 1 gets explored into, we can go 1, 2 and clear it. If the 7 gets explored into, that would kind of be the best case scenario. Then we can actually just clear it for what it is and use the damage maybe just to wound the 8, or use it to push some dahan or something like that. Yeah, I mean, there also is the option of just clearing the 6 itself and letting the 4, leaving the 4 to its own devices. We'll see what happens. Missionaries arrive. Great, that is a good card to get rid of. Okay, so now we build, and now we mining boom. For the mining boom, I'm going to pick my 2. And I will put a marker there to show that I've done that this turn, because that's the main way that I die to Habsburg mining, is by forgetting mining boom so often that I can't really justify that I've been playing against the adversary. And they grow into wetlands. So on one hand, this sucks. On the other hand, yeah, we predicted it. We called it. Okay. So This is pretty straightforward where our 1 damage is going to go to kill out that. Now we'll push a dahan from our 6 and our 8, so now we've used from our 6 to our 5 rather. So now we've used both of our innates, and we'll fog closes in. I mean, it's just set up nicely here for dealing damage, so that way we can already start fear farming. And then we'll start positioning to be a little bit more central on the board, also to be in lands of 2 dahans. Actually, yeah, no, this is what we want to do. So we just use the 2 movements, and we want to defend for at least 3 here. Normally you have to grow 2 to be able to defend 3 comfortably. But we actually can G3, get a card, probably grow into our 6, move in, and then move out or something like this. Okay, cool. So, yeah, time passes. Alright, turn 2. Slow and silent death. We do 1 fear from here, nothing else. Alright, we want to unnerving Paul. They're either going to do sands or mountains this time. Which one scares us the most? Do any of them scare us? Pull that back so that we know that we haven't done it again this turn. So we're going to isolate probably either the 1 or the 6. Problem is we're setting up the 4 to become quite a problematic land. I'm debating on being greedy and going like this turn. But that obviously leaves us with no damage, so like they can come in and mess up the 1 pretty badly. Which actually, you know what? Let's do that. So we will put everything in there. Gain pay. So we're going a rather greedy build. Normally you want a G3 on turn 2. We are not going to, and we might not even do it on turn 3 either. So what we can do is also G2 next turn. Then we reclaim, gain 1, and then we G2 on turn 5, and then we're unlocked with our air symbol and 3 card plays, and that's basically enough to win the game with your base cards as Shroud. So we might just take the extra blight and do that. That tends to be a totally viable option as Shroud against HME. Okay, so we'll defend 4 with our unnerving Paul. We'll spread out to have a little bit more board presence, and we will isolate our 1 so that it doesn't become a huge problem land. It'll blight once, so basically now we're going to be taking a blight on 2 lands, and that's it. A blight on 2 lands with this next card, I mean. Okay, so that was our fast power phase. We did everything cool. Yes. Okay. Then our first event, Sacred Sites. Well, that's not fun. Well, that sucks. Okay. So, having presence destroyed as Shroud definitely sucks, but if we're going greedy, we're going to have more on there than we would practically be able to use anyways, so It'll be okay. I'll move the beast to the 4 on the off chance that it'll help clear it. And we get to gain a minor power because of Sphere of Speakers, which is great. So next turn, we're going to be playing Dissolving Vapors. So if we are to grab, for instance, Disorienting Landscape. Actually, Disorienting Landscape is just good all in all, but of course, Call to Isolation is fantastic as well. Since we're getting ahead on energy and I like the elements and it solves the 4, I'm going to take Disorienting Landscape. It also can help with the 1 in a way. Okay. We also gained Gather Power from the Cool and Dark because this does say gain a minor power. Okay. Each player removes 1 explorer or settlement from a land with 2 or more dahan. Well, yeah, that doesn't matter. Okay, and now we ravage. We destroy. This is now at 6 for the loss condition, which is fine as long as we don't explore into it. We have a 40% chance next turn of exploring into it. Wetlands we build. Now we mining boom. I don't really want a mining boom there, but 4 would be really bad. I guess I didn't plan it out that well with Disorienting Landscape, because that was all about handling the 4. If we're going to do that, then we actually need to mining boom in the 2. That's okay. I have Dissolving Vapors next turn, so that's kind of get greedy on the problem land. 2 is an easy one to solve. We're up to 5, 6, 7 there now, so we just gotta be careful. Okay. And then we explore into sands. Okay, so we missed it no matter what. Would be good if we had a way to defend the 1, which we will because we'll have Unnerving Paul at the start of turn 4. Okay, cool. Then, yeah, time passes. Okay, so now we can do this, for example. And if we unlock the air, that means that we actually could already be triggering our left innate tier 2 next turn when we reclaim those. So yeah, we're just in a great spot right now. Yeah. Okay, so we'll grow there and there. Gain, pay, flip. Okay, so where do we want to isolate? What is the worst place that they could explore right now? Cool thing about the isolate is that, like, okay, we don't want to put it onto the sands, really, because sands are going to be in the ravage steps, so it wouldn't be able to block the escalation. But also, I mean, like, if they explore into our 1, that kind of messes with our defense plans. So, yeah, might be worth. We're gonna get to clear a lot with Dissolving Vapors. This turn it's gonna be good. So because we have Dissolving Vapors, I'm not scared of an Explorer into my 2, or my 3, or my 1. I would rather solve other like potential future problems, right? There's an argument to isolate the 8, because then that's also getting the 7. Of course, like, coasts are twice as likely to pop up. But I really like the idea of keeping the 7 free, because as I said, this is a really annoying corner for Shroud. Odds are I'm going to be hitting my 2 with my dissolving vapors. So yeah, that's going to be my first growth. My isolate will push this one here, I guess. Now let's push him actually into the 8. We also get the anti-explorer there. Sorry, that goes here. And then we'll grow here. Okay, so we only have 5 dahan on the board because we're losing the 1 on the 3. But such is life. Let's see what happens. Ominous Dawn. Waning support. Great. Okay, 1 fear per. That's only 1. Okay, 1 damage. That doesn't apply to us. Nope. Okay, and now we have to destroy a presence. So our presence in 7 is actually the least valuable right now, because there's nothing going to be going on with it next turn, or the turn after. So, yeah. Okay, we didn't move that down from last time, so now we ravage. Empire just more than 3. Yeah, or we get rid of it with more than 3, so it's still going to do what it does now, but next turn it won't. Okay, we build in sands, and then we mining boom. See, this is why we have this here. Where are we going to mining boom? I mean, this is a pretty good target for it. And then we explore into wetlands with escalation. So we explore into these wetlands. We can't do anything about these. And now we have to explore into 2 lands that do not match. So it all depends now on where we want to be unleashing our dissolving vapors. Want our 2, so we'll do 1 there. Yeah, we don't want to do anything extra in our 1. And so I guess that will also hit our 5, because that means that, again, with an explore, or with an isolate like on our 8, we'll be able to keep our 7 clear from the HME card. Okay. So now, yeah, dissolving vapors. We'll do 1 fear, kill these 3, 1 damage to everything. And with Shroud, you actually only have to lock the bottom building, and then anything on top of it won't change. So that's what I'm doing there. Now we also get 1 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's fine on this. So this land is going to become a little annoying. So what I'm doing is considering moving to here already to hit it. I'm going to push there to keep those unified, by the way. So I can do 1, 2, something like this, hit this, and now I am at the 3. Yeah, this is right. Now I'm at 3 lands for slow and silent death, so I'm gaining energy. I'm sitting in a really nice spot already. Okay, cool. Then that is all. We did the dahan push, we did the 1 damage, we did dissolving vapors, then time passes. Okay, so yeah, slow and silent death. We gain 1 energy, 3 fear. Alright, and now we are going to reclaim, gain a minor. We actually almost could consider a major at this point with how much energy we have, but I find that tends to not be useful on Shroud even. Even when you have lots of energy, once you get to the 3 and 4, you're definitely going to be starting to lose energy every turn. If you want to be playing big things like dissolving vapors, and there's just not that many majors that help you that much. You totally can win just playing your 4 initial cards, so might as well help yourself to keep doing that. Alright, so I would actually consider taking a fire card here, just to be able to pay for the fire event, but since that already happened, yeah, I want to take something to deal with missionaries. I think that missionaries wasn't... Oh, no, missionaries was the first card. Okay, then that makes that significantly worse. None of these are great. I already have a wind card that I could forget. I have a moon card. So I guess, yeah, we'll take Renewing Rain. Yeah, that has decent stuff to forget, and it gains me that 1 energy. Okay, so now I want to be defending here. I will move 1 presence there. I think that we can gamble, and that'll be fine. Okay, so that was my move a presence here. So now I'm picking cards. I want to play Gathering Pall and Fog Closes In, or Unnerving Pall and Fog Closes In. I will get 2 big damage bursts with which I can clear some of these things this turn. For instance, I'll be able to clear out my 5 and my 6 probably, and then I will only have 4 lands. Yeah, I'll have my 1, 2, 3, and my 8 to worry about. I also could just entirely nuke my 8. But yeah, probably my 5 and my 6 would be better. So yeah, we'll gain pay. 1 fear. We're going to be defending for 3 up here. We're gambling a little. It's okay. Gotta risk it for the biscuit. Then we'll move back to the 6, and we'll preserve our presence from the 8. And what we'll probably do is move 1 presence back into the 2, and then the 4 back to the 8 next turn. Yeah, I don't like that we're going to need to Mining Boom again in land 3. But that's okay. We'll have Dissolving Vapors, and we can probably still clear it even before it becomes a problem. So, because, yeah, like I said, we're in a really good spot. Oh, yeah, the Isolate. Ooh, I wasn't considering the Isolate. Yeah, we had to isolate the 8, right? Because that's what allows us to keep the 7 from becoming a problem, and also if Yeah, also when we do that, no, there's no escalation. That's all there is to it. We could also isolate the 7, it doesn't really matter. It's all the same thing. There is no unknown knowledge that we have other than our event and fear card. Okay. So, great, things have +1 health. So this is actually kind of cool with tight-knit communities sometimes on Shroud, because what you can do is damage, like apply 2 damage tokens to the town. It lives through, so then it would still trigger slow and silent death the next turn, because it doesn't say like what order you have to be doing things in during time passes. So you can do slow and silent death, and then the turn is over and you can resolve their health going back down to 2 and killing them. So it's a little cheeky thing that, as far as I'm aware, from any of the rules I've read, you're totally able to pull off a Shroud, which is nice. Okay, so yeah, we need to remember that they have extra health. Each beast destroys Explorer, doesn't matter. Add a dahan to a coastal land with dahan. Okay, so we're fine on our 1 now. And that comes a little bit too late for waning support, but oh well. Dahan Raid. Ooh. Each player chooses a different land with dahan in each 1 damage. Okay, that makes not really a big difference, but yeah, because we're going to have the connections there anyways. So, whatevs. Actually, no, then what we're going to do is we're going to take care of this, so that way we can, yeah, not wound any of our dahan up here. Because our defense covers directly. Yeah, that's smarter. Okay, so we are ravaging. We blighted island this turn. Let's see how this screws us up. Okay, downward spiral, that's fine. Downward spiral sounds like it should be a problem for Shroud, but because you can get presence out so quickly, and because you have flowing and silent forms, it's like going blighted isn't nearly as bad with Shroud as it feels like it should be for a spirit that likes their presence. Yeah, okay, now we build in wetlands, we mining boom, which we will mining boom in this wetlands. That puts us at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Oh, that means that I actually do have to take care of this land this turn. Whoops. Or am I missing something here? I can do math, I promise. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's not a better one to mining boom, so that's where it will be. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, counting, not my forte. Okay, and then salt deposits. Okay, so we are exploring with 1 explorer into those lands. This is isolated, so the 6 is prevented. Not sure why I thought that there would still be buildings on number 3, so yeah, of course, that 8 was phenomenal. Wow, we're in way too good of a spot. I'm feeling really good about this. Okay, so the dahan push, yeah, not a big deal. Okay, so we're probably going to want to grow here, and then also grow back into there. We can go ahead and clear our 5, pushing the dahan into the 2 so that we can get ready to do some fancy things there, which also means let's stack it up so we have stacks of 3 now. And then we'll actually bring the 6 over to here to keep the wounded towns. So what we could do is this is the tricky part. So we could actually entirely take care of our 1, though that feels like a bit of a stupid use of it because like it's 50% chance that our one is even going to be ravaging. So yeah, let's not try to be fancy. Let's just take out things here. We have 3 damage to deal. 1, 2, 3. So what we're trying to do is leave it so that we can clear it as fast as possible, which means taking down a 3 instead of clearing out the extra explorers. Yeah, so we have 3 buildings wounded, 2 health, the rest are 1 health. Okay, yeah, this is good, this is good. And just making sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're fine there as well. Okay, then time passes. We're now on turn 5. Okay, so we want to do this and become unlocked. Is it actually? No, we're still missing 1 moon, right, from having this. Yeah, but this is still definitely good as is. So we're going to be flowing in silent forms here. I kind of like the idea of being able to still have some presence there afterwards without having moved it in, but practically that's not going to happen because we want to grow into the 6 and the 7 as well. So it's fine, we'll move it back afterwards. Oh, duh, disorienting landscape pushes out of here. Wow, I'm really out of it. Okay, yeah, and we don't even need that move presence. We're definitely saturated here. Okay, so what cards do we have that can come up? We have coastal, we have sands, we have jungles, we have mountains. So this sand isolate again blocks 3. Blocks 3 explorers. So it's probably pretty good. A sand explorer here or coastal here is fine because there'll only be 1 explorer left. Yeah, on the 2 or the 3, it's also okay. By the way, we're going to Unnerving Paul probably the 3 next turn and just like keep the buildings from ravaging, and it'll be fine. So we don't have to worry about that either. Yeah, it looks like we just want to permanent isolate this until we are able to solve it. Okay, so that's going to be our isolate. We're going to use disorienting landscape to push this guy in here. That's 6, 7, so that's fine. Then we're going to use flowing and silent forms here. And you know what, actually, let's wreck on this and say that we did grow there. And this is how we split it up. That way if the event is some sort of blight thing that also wants us to destroy stuff, we have 3 presence destroys to mess with, so we'll have 1 additional 1 to deal with there. Did I deal with fear? Energy at the start of phase? No, I did not. And also, I did a bad thing, which I do way too often on Shroud. I forgot slow and silent death, which is kind of the whole point. 1, 2, 3. So, yeah, we are definitely feeling good about this game. All right, so now we are moving on to invader phase. So first things up, blighted island. We get to move the presence because of flowing and silent forms. Then the event, remnant of a spirit's heart. Yeah, we just... This is actually interesting. So if we forget Renewing Rain, we get the Defend 4 card, which could save a lot of things. So yeah, I mean, that seems good. So let's do that. We'll get the Reminder card, we'll play it at some point. Yeah, the Beast has done absolutely nothing this game. Yeah, Thousand Small Struggles does nothing for us, so cool. Okay, Fear cards. On each board, gather up to 3 explorers or settlements from a single land into a land with 2 or more invaders. Okay, so we're already beyond the loss condition. So yeah, I will totally do that here. So we have a very obvious target for Dissolving Vapors this turn. From a single land, and yeah, so that totally was legal. They do not heal at the end of turn. Well, yeah, okay, that's fine. Alright, so we ravage. We upgrade because Avarice gets rewarded, and that destroyed a presence, moving it up to R2, I guess. Yeah, now we build in non-mining lands. We handled all of them because Shroud is awesome. Yeah, we do the mining build, which we're going to do this. I hope I'm not making this too much of a problem land, actually. I might be doing so, but oh well. Actually, I need to think about this for a moment. So it was Kacha like this. Okay, because right now I Dissolving Vapors and I can handle it with Unnerving Pole next turn. Whereas when it's in this case, so we had 3 that were wounded. And 2 that would not be. Yeah, I'll just have to deal my damage into here. That's fine. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we'll go all in. Like, see, and this is where the whole corner thing is showing. Like, if this land had 3 adjacencies or 4, we'd just be able to get so much more damage in there. So it's unfortunate that this has ended up being the land to pile on. Maybe I should have been doing more on the 2 or whatever, but it feels like we're in a bit too deep now. Okay, so now we explore into sands with an escalation. Yeah, so it has to be... How does the escalation read? Whose terrains don't match a ravage or a build card. Yeah, so the salt deposits don't count as a terrain, so that means that we can definitely explore into there, and I'll throw 1 into my 4 as well, so that the beasts maybe have a chance at doing something. I don't want my 2 to get stuff thrown into, because right now all I have to do is push that 1 explorer out, and I'm able to prevent it from ravaging entirely. Okay, so now big boom time. Yeah, Dissolving Vapors, so we will do 1 fear. Yeah, all of the wounded towns go. City gets wounded, you guys get wounded, you guys go away. Yep, and now, okay, so actually beforehand I could push that in, which might be worth it. So I also get to do 3 damage here now, right? Yeah, so I could basically kill both cities. and have pushed this thing in. That seems very good. Let's do this. So we did our push beforehand. Great. And we still even get our ultimate level of... or we still have 3 lands for slow and silent death, so we're fine. Okay, and we'll just take the blight on our 8. We don't care about this at all. Yeah, we use our movement. Have a couple of fear cards. Yeah, this will be fine. Okay, cool. Then time passes. We are going to reclaim. We could be trying to gain majors at this point to wrap it up faster, but I don't actually think that matters. I still prefer to keep some energy on hand. Oof, really? Okay. So entrancing apparitions, obviously we love, but Call to Guard is great too. So it's going to be one of those. I mean, the thing is that there's nothing to defend this turn, so, or really next turn even. We need to do something big on land 8 this turn, preferably. So, since I have extra energy, I'm going to go for elements, because, like, yeah, obviously just being able to play, you know, these 3 cards unlocks a lot of shit. That's not what we're playing right now, though. We want to be playing... Actually, it's getting pretty close. So, So entrancing apparitions is great because we can just pull that 1 explorer out. We don't need Unnerving Pull this turn. We want Flowing and Silent Forms to prevent our damage there. How about before we do anything, we remember Slow and Silent Death. Okay. Yeah, also Flowing Silent Forms gives us 1 more fear. Oof, we're so close. It's a shame that these are all going to be 2 instead of 3. Because the thing is also we have Dissolving Vapors that I would like to play, just because of the way that it clears this up. However, I think this is actually potentially stronger. Yeah. Okay, now let's think about where they're going to be exploring again. They will explore into either coasts or mountains or jungles. So if we were to isolate here, okay, so isolating the 8 is worse now, because if we isolate the 8, we're not going to be able to use it for the escalation. I think I would want to maybe hit the 3. Now the 2 might be the better option. Mountains, they would hit them both. Jungles, it would prevent 1. Coast, it prevents 1. This is a nice one to not have to deal with immediately next turn from salt deposits. Means that only if the 3 gets hit do we need to worry about it. And we can... Okay. We do want Dissolving Vapors. That 1 extra bit of damage isn't going to be a big deal. Like, yeah, so Suffocating Shroud solves 3 if it gets explored into. We want to be able to do a big burst. We want to be able to push. That 1 damage doesn't help us that much. So, okay, this is what we do. we have no movements that we want to do, and we said that we wanted to isolate the two, which I already did because I never do order correctly. Oh, right, we did want the fear beforehand, but that becomes less important actually because I kind of would rather have a big 3 boost and solve the game in turn 7 or turn 8. Yeah, so we'll gather here. Yeah, using that correctly. I normally don't use it for that purpose, so it's a bit weird for me. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're still not at loss condition. We will push you out so that we don't have to lose you. Oh, we're going to lose you anyways. 'Tis a shame, 'tis a shame. Okay. Downward spiral. Presence goes away. That was the reason for flowing in silent forms. But I still think that the damage this turn is probably going to be more valuable. Okay, then the events. If you have earned fear cards, resolve the first one now as if the terror level were 1 higher. Great. Skip the next normal build. Okay. Well. Okay, so that actually is great because I was entirely forgetting that this is going to ravage twice. Because I forgot how Habsburg mining works. Luckily, that's not an issue, is it? Okay. On each board in a land with beasts and towns, badlands and towns, or badlands and buildings, nope. Okay, in the land with the most, push half round down. Okay, cool. Tales of Savagery. Each player removes 2 explorers or a settlement or a town from a land. Nope. Each player adds a strife into a land with presence. Okay. That gives us some nice ways to deal with these things. Okay, so salt deposits, ravage, and upgrade fun. Okay, then nothing happens from our build card. We now have to mining. Boom. I didn't plan that one out. Probably the 5 is best just because I can clear it up pretty easily. No, what am I thinking? I have my 8 that I'm nuking this turn. It does add a city. Maybe because of that this is wrong. Yeah, this is probably wrong. Good. Glad that we decided that. I think I'll show you later that it's not wrong, but see, since I claim both things, now I'm right either way. Okay. Explore in the jungles with escalation. Okay, so we'll also explore into the sands because that should get taken care of automatically. And we'll explore into the mountains here to keep all of our problems in the same spot. Okay, so now we're going to bring this presence over here. That's our 2 presence movements, so we've used it. We're going to do 1 fear and deal 1 damage to each. Yeah, you can't do it that way. Maybe there's a way to do it over the entire stack, but it's not something that I've ever pulled off. Okay, cool. So we have those now. We can do 1 for each adjacent, so we can do 4 damage and then 5 damage. Let's say that we were smart and we pushed these in here first before. I always forget about that until afterwards. Yeah, and then we'll just use both our Suffocating Shroud and Fog Closes in to wipe this. Yeah, and this seems pretty solved from this point out. Okay, time passes. So actually, what we can do is we'll declare our 4 defense for this turn, covering edge cases on the 1 and allowing us to push an explorer into 2, causing it to ravage and clear itself, which means that all that we need to do is isolate our 3. Oh, this is going to be good. I think we'll also do this and gain a power. That feels right. We'll do our grow and our move. Yeah, let's just get a 4th power. There's nothing from those that we need this turn. We'll have enough damage that we can clear this afterwards. Yeah, we solved this very early. This gets solved in ravage, so gain a minor. Cool. Yeah, all that we need is a water, right? Cool. Game, pay, flip. Alright, so we will use our isolate. We don't need to do any movement. Yes, we do, because we want to be using disorienting landscape to push in. And then we will come in here and also defend for 2 presence. So we have 2 defense plus 4 defense. So yeah, we're covered against pretty much all edge cases there. Also, I, as always, did the bad thing. We have 2 fear from Slow and Silent Death. And then Flowing Forms, cost 2 fear again. Yeah, this is... Yeah. Oh, wait, we can mark this with a reminder token. Okay. Yeah, destroy presence, event. They immediately ravage, and 1... Yeah, no, let's just destroy presence. Don't want to deal with that right now. Oh, yeah, this is also gone. Come back. Add a beast to a land without blight that has a town, no such thing. Defend 1 per. Yeah, we're very defended. 3 health from a land without. I guess we can do that, sure. We downgrade 1 in a coastal land, so we downgrade this. We're just going for the board to be cleared by now with the cards. Removes 1, and the board is cleared. Great. Cool, 2 fair. And they do less damage. This gets cleared. The dahan slap back for 6 damage, killing, killing, and killing. And there we go. We have a Terror 3 victory against HME, entirely cleared board, and we drew no minors. We drew no majors, but we had really good minor elements that we picked up. And that is that.